there's gonna be some kind of, she's gonna have to drop money. I think drop money before the trial. She's being caught, obviously. She's not. Hi everyone, welcome back to No Light Tarot. My name is Hallie, so grateful to have you all. This is a channel about hot topics through a tarot perspective, so let's get right into it. I am doing a video that's a little different this time. I'm doing it about Courtney Tailor and Obumseli. I think the whole situation is very unfortunate, and I have decided I'm going to start doing like murder kind of stuff and law trials and so forth. I said I wasn't going to particularly do murder, but this story is just so interesting, and I think we can learn a lot from it. As somebody who's been in toxic relationships myself, I think it can be sometimes hard to leave because we're like, oh, I love so much about this person and blah blah blah, but the only thing is that they drive me crazy, you know. And I remember actually one of my first relationships, my first major relationships, I was with this guy and it was just so toxic, but we were so, it was kind of like we were addicted to each other, and that's the energy I get here. So please like, subscribe, like, comment. I just wanted to send out a shout out. I'm gonna drop a link for the GoFundMe for Obumseli's funeral expenses and so forth for his family. I know it's with heavy heart, and I just wish them lots of healing, and I hope the angels are protecting them and him. I know he isn't completely innocent. None of us really are in these situations, because we do have a chance to leave, and sometimes we egg things on. We're like, oh, this person can be saved, you know. And I don't know when his birthday was. They said he was about to celebrate it, so I'm guessing he was like a Taurus, and I'm guessing she's an Aries. I couldn't find her birthday online. I'm guessing she's an Aries, and you know, those of you who follow me know I feel about some Aries. It's a type of Aries that's a lot of Aries are like my way or the highway kind of thing. Yeah, so that's just what I'm guessing. That's the energy that I get. So let's get into the reading. Like I said, I haven't been able to pull up the charts because I can find them, but I'm just gonna pull up energy, and I've pictured in my mind. I already got some backstory too, so let's get into it. So for the past between them, I get 4 of Wands, Page of Swords, and High Priestess. So it seems to me like they were learning about each other. I think 4 of Wands obviously represents marriage, celebration of love. I think that they had planned on getting married, and something about something about each of them was very different to each other. I think they were both goal focused, money oriented, and that reflected, they manifested. It was almost like, I think that each of them, I get this, they were like manifesting money, and then money would come, you know, that kind of thing. A very superficial relationship, but they made it seem like they were bonded. So, and sometimes, you know, when you have somebody that you make a lot of money with, I had an ex like this, we inspired each other, and because of that we were like, oh my god, we're soulmates. But we inspired each other to make money, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're soulmates, blah blah blah, but it's a facade, you know, it's all fake. So the present, Nine of Pentacles, Hermit, and in this deck, Messenger of Earth. On the regular deck, I believe it's Knight, no, Ace, I'm sorry, of Pentacles. So I see her very strongly. Yeah, the Ace of, no, she's the Knight, pardon me, it's the Knight of Pentacles. So I see it very strongly that there's gonna be some kind of, she's gonna have to drop money. I think drop money before the trial. she's been caught, obviously. She's not happy about it. She wants people to perceive. I think she probably has Virgo in her chart. I get that very strongly. Maybe like a Virgo moon. And obviously this is intuitive based. If you want a full story of it, go watch the news, even though sometimes they are not the most accurate. But catch up about the story through like some kind of actual factual story. I haven't been fully caught up because I wanted to do this intuitively, because when I see her, I get very troubled. I see like father issues, running away from home, that kind of thing, never really dealing with herself. And that's the unfortunate shadow side of the influencer culture. You know, you don't know where these people come from, and a lot of them have hustler mentality, because where they came from, it's just like celebrities. A lot of them, where they came from, is so bad, they'll do anything to get away from that. And very few of them actually have stable homes. Very few of them have a good story behind them. Not saying that all of us grow up perfectly. I mean, I've been public about how I felt emotionally abused by one of my parents, but at least I had a roof over my head, you know. At least I had, sometimes that parent would hold it over me, what they didn't do right, quote unquote right, how my criticisms weren't valid because I went to one of the best schools, you know. So at least I got an education, and at least I had a roof over my head. But this kind of situation, I get that she didn't. I get that she was like running away a lot, and just very dark energy throughout her life. And I think he came from the opposite. His family is very well together. She comes from a fragmented family. And, you know, I don't want to get into what he allegedly said about black women. I don't think that it is okay to talk about it now. I think he deserves the same empathy. You know, he was making jokes like allegedly about black women. But I don't want to focus on that. I think he is still an innocent person, and his life should not have been taken from him. So with the future, Eight of Swords, Two of Cups, Five of Cups, she's going to find, well, somebody's going to find her in prison and try to get her out. So I get 2 years. I don't think she's going to get 2 years. I see possibly 20 years. Now, time can change because time is fluid, but I see possibly her getting 20 years. She's going to try to say, oh gosh, I did this whole time, like he attacked me, blah blah blah, but she's not going to have the evidence to back it up, and therefore the jury is going to come to that conclusion. And there's going to be a guy within the next 2 years that's going to be like, you were done wrong. I don't know what it is about these simps that are attracted to that kind of energy. Same thing with Amber Heard. There's this and I think this is a very, well, millennials were being exposed for it, but there's just like a general energy of a lot of women who are pretty, like pretty girl syndrome, who are bratty, stubborn, rude, out of control, and nobody stops them. In fact, men support them, and it's very rare. It's very shocking. It happens a lot in Hollywood. So Seven of Wands being at the bottom of the deck, I see her possibly getting a documentary. She's gonna say, I'm innocent, this was wrong, women's rights, blah blah blah, same old spiel. So Spirit of Cups, and in this deck it's Knight of Cups, Eight of Wands, and the Moon. Yeah, so she's gonna say, I am not guilty. And I see her getting like a special, documentary special. Gonna do movies about her, stuff like that. And with Six of Wands, Knight of Swords, we're gonna learn a lot more about her and her past. It's going to be like a revelation that comes out. Okay, wow. Yeah, so we're gonna see the dark side of her and her family, and her parents are going to be harassed. People are gonna take it into their own hands. So it's going to put pressure, and this is actually how I think she ended up being arrested. It's going to put pressure, the public's image of her is going to put pressure on the judicial system. And I don't necessarily think the jurors are going to be biased, but I do think, not biased, but feel the heat, you know, feel the heat of like, okay, she's not innocent, the public doesn't think she's innocent, they're like following me, doing all this kind of thing. But it's going to be more of like the DA and the prosecution's office that feels the heat, because they honestly, if it weren't for the heat that the family created, I don't think anything would have been done about it from the energy I get. And there are many factors about that, but I mostly think it's because a lot of men cannot admit that they have been domestically abused. And even if you look at the whole Spirit Airlines fight, when the woman was hitting the guy, it was okay, you know, people were like, oh, it's okay. And sometimes when I look to the right, I get like this shadow here that's not really there when I fall, so I just want to take that away. Anyways, I strongly think it's because society doesn't think men can be abused like women can be. I think it's very unfortunate because it happens. I see a lot of women hitting men, nothing happens to them, and I think the numbers are higher than we realize. So I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment. I love to hear what to say. Please be respectful though.